Oh, here's the long-awaited Bellringer video that has literally been on my to-do list all week, but it's here and I'm sorry it took so long. All right, so this is the Bellringer from last week. The first day was August the 31st. It is the Bellringer that was all about Shakespeare's sonnet number 18. So we're going to read it and sort of do a little fast, quick read, and then we'll go through all of the questions, talk about the answers, and then we'll be done. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is golden complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou awest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou art grown. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Oh, how sweet. All right, so long as men can breathe, it's not a specific, with this poem, I kind of want to read backwards. All right, so as long as men can breathe. So they're not saying as long as I can breathe. They're saying as long as men can breathe. And I think that's important. Not saying as long as I can breathe, but as long as men, as long as any man or woman is alive, as long as this poem lives on, you will be alive. It's sort of how I read this, no matter what happens, as long as men are here, as long, wait, what does it say? Hold on. The bubbles of the way. So long lives this being the poem. And this gives life to thee. Oh, how romantic. Shakespeare getting all up in his feelings. All right, let's keep trekking. Nor shall death brag, and thou wanderest in his shade, when eternal lines to time thou grow. So I'm envisioning, we've got death. I wish I had a whiteboard. Hold on. All right, y'all, you're about to see me try to articulate poetry through drawings. I had a professor in college that did this, and I felt like it was very helpful to visually see sort of what's going on here. And so that's what I'm going to do. I want you to see it, be able to see it with your eyes. So, nor shall death brag, thou wanderest in his shade. So we're going to draw, this is death. Wait, how can I make it bigger? How do I, okay, yes, B, yes. Okay, so death. Oh, that's not much bigger. This is death. I was going to try to actually draw death, but then I messed up. So this is death. And he's not laughing. Death won't laugh. Why is death not laughing? Because you're not wandering in the shade. Because you my love, are not wandering in its shade or in his shade. We're not wandering in his shade. We're not in our fields, you know? And so I'm going to draw a little arrow. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. So yet again, this person, I guess one would assume that it's possibly a woman. We don't really know. The summer shade, you know, we've got this beautiful summer day and it's not going to fade. They're going to live on happy and in love. And oh, it's so nice, right? So as long as men are here to read this poem, as long as people are here and it's alive, then this summer sun will not fade. Oh, how romantic it is. By chance or nature's changing course, untrimmed, but thy eternal summer shall not fade. So what we have is, you know, her eternal, or his, we don't know, his or her eternal summer shall not fade. So no matter what, I'm going to say they because we don't know if it's a man or a woman, they will remain beautiful. Oh, that's not how you spell beautiful. There we go. Beautiful through the eyes, because we know we've read the end, right? Through the eyes of this poem. That's such a beautiful idea. All right. And every fair from fair sometime declines. So sometimes beauty and the beast. All right, so sometimes beauty is going to decease or decrease, right? It's going to go down. But we know not this person's. It says sometimes beauty decreases, but your summer sun will not fade. Your love will spring eternal. Whoa, cute. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. All right, so too hot the eye of heaven shines. Interesting. So sometimes you are too beautiful, maybe? And then it says, oh, or actually, I don't think it's sometimes you're too beautiful. I think sometimes your beauty almost burns. Sometime too hot, the eye of heaven shines. That doesn't sound positive. It's not positive. We know that. That doesn't sound like a happy thing. And often gold complexion is dimmed. So, well, no, we're going to actually draw a picture. So gold complexion being dimmed. So we're going to make this a gold complexion. And then we're going to dim that. So sometimes a gold complexion, so this pretty sunny yellow color, can be dimmed to this, kind of like this mud brown, sad. It's not beautiful anymore. This color is pretty, and this color is like mustard. It's sad, right? Sometimes the gold complexion, the bubble's in the way. All right, sometimes the gold complexion can be dimmed. So I think that's what it's meaning. Like sometimes the beauty can be diminished. We see, scroll back up. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and oft the gold complexion is dimmed. And every fair from fair sometimes declines. So, the beauty sometimes declines. But thy eternal shall not fade. So, what we can see here is that other people might lose their beauty, but not mine, meaning his person, right? His person will remain beautiful. And then we get to the end, it'll say, so this lives on, this gives life to thee. So the beauty is almost brought from the poem, maybe? All right, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaf hath all too short a date. All right, so the question that we start off with is, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Which is kind of interesting because throughout this poem, we have all this imagery of beautiful things. And, when I was reading backwards, I sort of associated those beautiful things as metaphors for other people. But it's pretty literal in so much that we're talking about a summer day. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the buds of May, and summer's leaf hath too short a date. So there might be bad weather. It doesn't last too long. Sometimes it's too hot. The gold complexion is dimmed by storms. All of these things, are very literal, but you can also look at it from a figurative standpoint. We have normal people that are happy and beautiful, but their beauty will fade, but the beauty of his love will always stay and live on through this poem. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of summarize what I feel this poem is even talking about. So there are two layers to this poem. The first and most obvious is a comparison between, the narrator's love and a literal summer day. The summer day might fade to winter, but the love will stay radiant and beautiful forever, living within the words of the poem. I'm going to highlight and copy this actually because it's going to be the same. All right, so then if you peel back the layer, though, the next reading could be that other people may be beautiful, but their beauty will disappear with time, right? It says, every fair from fair sometime declines. Their beauty will disappear with time. And then, but our narrator will stay beautiful in the face of the poem. So these are the two ways you can read this. All right, so our first question is, which of the following best describes a theme of the sonnet? So we're looking for the message. Nature is indifferent to mankind and is often cruel and punishing. I just don't think so. I don't think that's what Shakespeare is trying to get at. So I'm going to just say no. Love is like the natural world and that it often changes and grows with time. Now, this one feels more right. It's talking about love and nature, love and natural world. So I'm not going to eliminate it immediately, but when you look at the context of our poem, it's not exactly talking about the changes and growth of love. It's talking about how love sort of conquers, or love in the poem conquers the loss of beauty and death. That doesn't actually, no, I'm going to eliminate that one because it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem to fit. All right, love is grander and more enduring than what it is often compared to. All right, this is kind of interesting, and I think I'm going to leave that one as a possibility because, love is grander and more enduring than what is often compared to. This is a weird answer choice, and I almost feel like it's sort of, it takes prior knowledge to get there. But I guess if you think about it, we do sometimes when we're describing love and trying to explain love, we'll say, oh, it's so beautiful. I feel so happy. It's sunshiny. It's summer. It's, so these feelings are associated with warmth. I think that's a possibility. So we're going to leave C open. And then it says, love is the surest way to find happiness in life and the afterlife. Looking at the poem that we just unpacked, this is not what they're talking about. They're not talking about trying to find happiness. They're talking about love and how important and beautiful it is. So, Zippo. Bye. So our answer is C. That was a tough one, though. It's hard to unpack this poem, and Shakespeare. I want y'all to see that this was a hard one, right? Only 12 of y'all got it. That's okay. A lot of people picked B, which I think I would call B our distractor. Love is the natural world, that it often changes and grows with time, right? So that I feel is our distractor. They're trying to distract us from the answer, which was C. All right, moving on. Ooh. Number 2, or the Tuesday Bellringer. Which of the following best describes the effect of the use of figurative language in the poem? Ooh. All right, so let's start from the bottom, actually. The speaker uses high diction throughout the poem and makes his relationship with his beloved appear informal. All right, well, I don't even really know what they mean by high diction. That's kind of really weird, and I've never heard that before. I have, but that's weird. And then it says that his relationship was informal. What does that even mean? His relationship was unimportant? No, or not. It was very casual. I don't think so, from the way they wrote this poem, love springs eternal, all this stuff. No, that's wrong. Okay, C. The speaker personifies death to create conflict as he battles death for his beloved. I'd like to read a poem that sounds like that. That would be if anyone would like to write me a poem that's about the speaker personifying death to create a conflict while they're battling death for his beloved. That sounds awesome, but that's not this poem, right? We do have death, and we do talk about death a little bit. This died, eternal summer shall not, oh wait, no, wrong line, sorry. This appear about fair from fair sometimes declines, that part. Oh, nor shall death drag, blah, blah, blah. Death is sort of watching under the shade, all this stuff, But it's not talking about them battling for their love. No, that's weird. All right, the speaker personifies the sun, okay, sort of, and makes it appear that the sun is a friendly individual who one would want to be compared to. Yo, I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm just imagining, the sun from Teletubbies. Y'all probably don't even know what Teletubbies is. I feel old. But They're not causing the sun. They're not making the sun look friendly. That's just not right. Sorry if you thought that was it. All right, finally, the speaker uses metaphors to compare his beloved to the summer and criticizes the summer for being harsh and fleeting. So, like fleeting, I think we actually touched on that when we were reading. Summer's lease hath all too short a date, right? So it's too short. All right, so y'all did awesome on that one. 61% of us got it. Woot woot. I wanna go to sleep. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry y'all had to hear that. Moving on to Wednesday's Bellringer, and I'm gonna be quiet. All right, so which of the following best describes the function of time in this poem? This is kind of interesting. So how is time important in this poem? All right, so A, the speaker declares that his beloved's loveliness will live on forever through his poetry, unlike the short-lived summer season. All right, so that right there sounds a lot like this right here, the first and most obvious comparison, blah, blah, blah. That we wrote, that sounds a lot like letter A. So I'm going to hold on to that one. I'm going to read the others, but I'm going to hold on to that. Okay, so the speaker laments the fleeting nature of summer, as it is his favorite season, and he wishes it could be warm and bright a lot longer. No, I mean, the summer is really just a vehicle that's sort of trying to guide the reader in talking about the love, the person he's in love with. It's not really talking about how he loves summer. Oh my gosh, I like to go to the water park. No. All right. The speaker admits that although his beloved's beauty will fade with time, his love will not fade. This one's really close, and I feel like this is probably our distractor. It's in line with our reading, right? You know, even though the beloved's beauty will fade, his love won't fade. For that person won't fade. But I don't know, y'all. It's one of those things where, you know, you're supposed to pick the best answer, and that doesn't feel the best to me. You know, that one feels sort of close, but no cigar almost. Let me keep reading. The speaker explains that that he loves his beloved more than he adores the summer because his beloved can love him back. That's funny. I must be really tired because that's hilarious. That's not right. It's nothing about that. So at this point, we just have our correct answer and our distractor, right? We're thinking, okay, now which one's which? Which one's the distractor? Which one's the correct answer? And I, as a reader, I would just have to take a second and think, okay, now which one is best? And I think this one is wrong because I don't feel like the speaker really admits that his beloved's beauty will ever fade. To me, the poem reads that his beloved's loveliness will live on forever through his poetry. So because he wrote this poem, that person will always be beautiful. All right, so let's click over. Y'all did awesome with that one. We got 53% of us got it right. And then 25% of us, 26, picked, the distractor. All right, good job, good job. One more, and then we'll be done. Okay, so reread lines 19 through 14 of the poem. What is the conclusion of the sonnet, and how does this meaning contribute to the poem's overall meaning? All right, so what is it? 14, 9 through 14. All righty. Sorry, these weren't numbered, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait, 9. Okay, but thy eternal summer shall never fade. Could you please scroll? Thank you. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor loose the possession of thy fair I can't say that. Nor shall death brag, and thou wanderest in his shade. When in the eternal lines to time thou grow, so as long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. This was a short answer question, and I'll be honest with y'all. All we were supposed to do here is sort of reiterate what we've already said in our up here. You know, that this right here really summarizes the meaning of the poem. You know, so no matter what, no matter what happens, no matter how their beauty is stifled for whatever reason, their beauty and their love will live on through this poem forever. I hope y'all enjoyed reading Shakespeare as much as I did. I'm a nerd. I have a degree in literature and I eat that stuff up. So, I love you. I hope you've had a wonderful day and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.